So guys, we are here to talk about Chord 3 contracting, and I'm here with Michael, Alex, and Thomas. Thomas or Tommy, right?
Thomas.
Thomas, yep. I always get it confused, Uncle Tommy, so that's I know him. So anyway, Michael's been a client for years, Alex and I just met. So basically one of the cool things about our local areas is there's an abundance of people that are doing some really cool things and having a lot of fun while doing them. And I think this is a really neat concept, and I'm going to kind of turn it over to you guys, but y'all come from 3 different approaches from the contracting industry, so you can really handle a lot of stuff in-house, work really well together, and really accomplish a lot of goals on a medium to large scale. Is that pretty fair in saying?
Yes, I'd say so.
So whoever wants to go first, kind of tell us about what you do and what's kind of your role and how it all works, and then we'll talk about how it all meshes together. So I bet you go first.
Yeah, so Chord 3 Contracting, I think Alex, you were going to talk a little bit on our name and why we decided to call ourselves Chord 3 Contracting.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about how we got started and why we chose the name Chord 3 Contracting.
Okay.
We all come from a little bit different backgrounds. He's got a civil engineering background. Thomas got project management from Auburn, and I've got project management professional certification.
Okay.
So we all come from different aspects, but we all deal with the management side of construction. When we got started trying to think of a name, we're all Christian guys.
Mm-hmm.
We all follow Christ. That's another thing I like working in Carroll County is it's a good area. So when we were trying to think of a name, you know, Ecclesiastes 4:12 came to mind because there's 3 of us.
Okay.
And that verse talks about the fact that a 3-chord strand is not easily broken. When you're doing business, you're going to have circumstances that come up where you need to be strong and one-minded. And we all have very strong core beliefs, and we want to hold each other accountable to that in business.
Good.
Absolutely.
So we decided to make our name that.
Very cool. I like that. That's neat. Much stronger together. The synergy of all 3 of you guys, that's perfect. So talk about the project management side of what all you guys do, or who would hire you guys. So like, what is I know the answer to this, but we'll make sure the audience knows. What, the person looking to hire you guys, what are they looking to do, or what's the ideal client?
Yeah, so we're a commercial general contracting company. We don't do any residential construction.
Okay.
We've been on a lot of government work.
Okay.
So we've worked for City of Douglasville, as well as private clients. We've actually worked for Tanner Health Systems. We recently just did a project for Tanner Health Systems. We did an office build out and office renovation. So.
Good deal. Okay. Some of the y'all do construction from the standpoint of you just take a project from beginning to finish too, so like a new construction as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times, we'll have a set of drawings and bid documents that have been designed by an engineer and architect, and we'll go through the estimating process and all the way through construction. And then other times we also offer design build as well. That's when we'll work with the client from day one. We'll actually hire the architect, hire the engineer, and we'll go through the design phase with the client and take it all the way through construction to project closeout.
Perfect.
What we specialize in and what we're good at is navigating a client through a difficult project or a difficult situation where there's multiple trades that will be required and difficult schedules and difficult constraints. Our specialty and what we're good at is managing and collaborating with these different trades to get a job done, whether it be a from the ground up job or a renovation.
If I could throw my 2 cents in there also, just that, we've seen that a lot of people in this industry, anybody would say, hey, do you know a general contractor? Say, yeah, I know one. But, there's a lot of general contractors, but we've noticed in this industry it's difficult to manage a job correctly and for a job to finish where everybody's happy.
Right.
And that comes with doing the hard work of actually doing the paperwork in the background. A lot of guys just want to get in there and get it done, get their hands on the project, get it done. Mm-hmm. We pride ourselves in, with high education in this room, we pride ourselves in the ability to slow down and look at every aspect, every detail of your project, so that when we come to you with a proposal for how we're going to do it, we don't come to you with a number. We come to you with a packet.
Good.
That says, this is how we're going to do it. This is the schedule we're going to follow. This, we just outline the whole project, and people really respond to that. They really like that.
I think that's huge, because let's think about it. If someone has the need to do some commercial construction, usually it's fairly technical what they do for a living, whatever it's a medical facility or some kind of other profession, they are manufacturing, whatever it is, they have very specific guidelines that they have to kind of stick with to doing their business. So I know a lot of times it can be very confusing. Just you go in and it's going to be this much per square foot per whatever, plus this, and this, and you just kind of get lost in the jargon of it. Whereas if you have kind of a guide or a manual to say, look, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it, this is the time frame we're going to do it in, and this is the cost, and you've actually taken the time in the beginning to really give a realistic idea about what that looks like, that is huge for people, because I think that's the part that a lot of contractors do an excellent job in getting the job done correctly, and it all works and everything's there. But the gray area in between, I think, is really neat how you guys kind of accomplish that and demonstrate that in the beginning. I think a lot of people probably respect that too, from the stance of knowing what am I really going to get, and then they also have something to go back in and keep you guys to your word. Hey, you said you're going to do this. This is where it is. So everybody is on the same page and where it's going, because it's so easy to say, yeah, I'll do that. But if it's not written down, we all live such busy lives, and we all have so many things going on, and we have all intentions of writing down, they wanted this, the phone rings. Exactly. Somebody else is calling with something other need, and then you're back to forgetting about all the minor details there. So getting the details worked out in the beginning is huge, and I think that's really cool. You guys are able to collaborate and figure that out in the beginning and get someone's project completed like it needs to happen. So on a scale, do y'all have like kind of a size of project that, I know a lot of people, no job too small, too big, but realistically speaking, I know there's bonding and things like that have to take place with the size of, or scope of projects. What is kind of the wheelhouse of what you typically like to kind of go after?
Yeah, well, it depends. Government sector, obviously bonds are required, but a lot of these private sector projects, we don't have to provide a bond.
Sure.
So I guess in a sense, with private sector work, the sky's the limit.
Sure. In
moderation, and with government sector, it really just depends. We try to stay, I guess, no more than $1 million projects.
Sure. Well, it makes sense. You try to figure out where do you want to. You're not going to bid on a $50 million renovation project. That's not your wheelhouse. There's larger firms that want to do that for government work. But if it comes down to private sector, you guys are capable of handling whatever it is that makes sense to get the job done. I think that's respectable, and I think you guys seem to be the type too that if it's not the right project for you guys, y'all would rather tell someone up front, hey, this is not really what we specialize in, versus trying to get it over your heads, and
Absolutely.
I appreciate that too.
I think we all three
we
agree
have
on that.
and we would.
Absolutely.
But to elaborate too on what Michael said about it, just that our project wheelhouse is where you have enough subcontractors involved that you need someone to manage it and oversee it. If there's several aspects of the project that needs to get done, so that kind of helps you figure out on the low end, if it's one or two subcontractors that you need. We've had those clients come in the door and we say, this is the guy you need to call, because he doesn't need a manager. He's going to go out there and do it.
Right.
So, we'll have someone call us and say, hey, can you grade out my backyard? Well, I could give you the phone number for a grader, but you don't need me to manage that grader. But so that kind of gives you a spectrum on the low end, and then
Or if they just needed some engineering work done, you could handle some engineering work in house, but then you may turn it back over if it was something small that they're going to do it themselves, right, or maybe have their own thing. It makes a lot of sense, because not every project requires as much hands-on stuff, but we all know that you got to monitor every aspect of it, and the slightest thing that's not checked on from the very beginning causes multiple domino effect of problems later.
That's right.
And we've all seen projects that ended up having issues down the road, and having the right people handling it from the beginning is truly what makes it all come together for the longevity of it. So
absolutely, and a lot of it too, it's your skilled trade guys.
Yep.
Most of our skilled trade guys that we work with, they've been working in the West Georgia area for 25 plus years.
Sure.
So they're very familiar with this area and their work scope.
Good. I think that means a lot. And, you know, I think there's a lot to be said too about people that can go work on something and then go sleep in their own bed at night versus someone coming from many states over, having to do jobs and they're having to live out of a hotel room and they're far away from their families and stuff like that. And I have a lot of respect for people that's how they operate or work. But if you know, having local people being able to handle local things can really keep their eye on it better and have a better quality of life. And that quality of life going back into the project, it matters. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
So how do people reach you guys? What's the best way? I'm sure you got a website and a telephone number. What's the best way to get you?
Telephone.
All right, perfect. What's the number?
My number is 770-286-8793.
And he always answers his phone. If he doesn't, he'll call you right back.
I do always answer my phone.
Good deal. So give them a call, guys, and if you've got a project, they'll let you know up front if they're not the right fit for it. I think that's very respectable. And then, you know, hopefully it'll be something that you guys can have something that would benefit and work out well. I know they do a good job. You guys here in the West Georgia area that are in need of a commercial contractor, give Chord 3 Contractors a call. Use the Random to Real Estate discount code for a special offer from them. You won't be disappointed.